If you look at me today, you probably see an observant Jew who can read Hebrew fluently, lead davening confidently, and translate Chumash with understanding and pride. But if you had met me a few years ago, you'd see someone quite different. I wasn't raised Jewish. I only converted to Judaism just over 4 years ago. But my journey started long before that, with questions, with discomfort, and with a deep yearning for a real connection to Hashem. As a child, I began to notice mistranslations in the Christian Bible, verses that didn't sit right with me. I didn't want to connect to God through man. I wanted to connect directly to Hashem. That quiet, stubborn spark led me somewhere I never would have expected, to the Jewish people. One of the most meaningful memories that I recall from before my childhood is sitting with my parents each Friday night, learning the Parsha. Those moments gave me something I couldn't explain then, but I understand now. They planted a spark. By the end of 6th grade, I asked my parents to send me to a Jewish school. I joined Beitar Hill Academy for 7th and 8th grade. With no background, it was overwhelming, but also exhilarating. When I came to Beitar Hill High, that spark had a place to grow into a flame. At first, I learned slowly. I focused on the messages in Chumash more than the translation. Then, one day, Rabbi Yafi invited me to join a new Chumash class, one with more advanced learning. He told me he believed I was ready for more of a challenge. 2 years later, I was translating Chumash fluently and understanding Hebrew with depth and confidence. I especially loved learning Hebrew grammar because it helped me fully understand why the Jewish people are sometimes referred to as he in the singular form, and how that disproves the claims I had grown up hearing. This year, I was challenged academically in so many classes. In social studies, I was encouraged to complete an independent study and presented to my class a 45-minute research project about US submarines and German U-boats. I also spent countless hours in AP Pre-Calculus class with extensive homework, preparing myself for a 2.5-hour exam. But this wasn't just about academics. Something internal was shifting. Slowly, my Judaism stopped being something that others imposed on me and became something that I owned. I no longer felt like I was just learning Torah. I was living it. I started to feel like I belonged. I struggled too. As a teenager, davening every morning wasn't always easy, but it was those moments when I didn't show up the way I wanted to that taught me how much I truly care. Missing something made it even clearer to me how deeply I want it. When I shared parts of my story with other students, it inspired them to grow in their own Yiddishkeit. And that showed me, even the smallest flame can light up someone else's darkness. And this idea, the power of one flame, is what Parshas Ba'aleischa is all about. The Parsha begins with Aaron lighting the menorah. But the Torah doesn't say, light the lamps. It says, Ba'aleischa, when you raise them up. The commentaries explain that Aaron had to hold the flame there until the wick could ignite and rise on its own. That's not just how you light a lamp. That's how you light a person, a soul. My teachers didn't just give me knowledge. They believed in me. They guided me until my flame could burn on its own. But that's not the full story of our Parsha. Right after that uplifting scene with the lighting of the menorah, the Parsha turns dark. The Jewish people begin to complain, to doubt, to resist, to rebel. The optimism fades quickly. Why? It seems like the light of the menorah fades so quickly. But in truth, that's how real growth works. Once you take ownership, the struggle begins. The flame is tested. It needs to withstand the wind. It needs to decide if it wants to keep burning. And sometimes, what looks like rebellion is actually a cry for something deeper. The Jewish people weren't just complaining. They were desperate for a more meaningful relationship with Hashem. And sometimes, so was I. My own spiritual resistance became the very thing that pushed me to discover what I truly believed in. Now, as I look ahead to the next step of my journey, learning at the Rabbinical College of America in Morristown, New Jersey, I know the work continues. I'm excited to learn more deeply, to challenge myself, and to keep growing. Of course, I'm a little nervous, but I carry with me a flame that was nurtured, strengthened, and made my own right here at BHH. I want to thank all of the incredible people of BHH for creating an environment where students like me can thrive. And of course, thank you Hashem for guiding me here, for showing me the way forward, and for reminding me that even in the dark, there's a spark waiting to be kindled. Thank you.